Hello everyone, hope you are studying well and hope you are doing well. I hope you went through the last video which I uploaded about the chemical properties of acids. Now in this video we are going to study about bases. So bases are generally considered as the chemical opposites of acids because they have the ability to neutralize the acids. So what are bases actually? Which type of compounds may be called bases? So bases are basically metal oxides or hydroxides. The examples you can see here are KOH, NaOH, Na2O and K2O. So these are metal hydroxides and these are metal oxides. Another example of a base is NH4OH, which is a non-metal hydroxide, but still it behaves like a base. So the basicity of bases generally depends on the hydroxide ion they yield in water or they yield in their solution. So whenever you dissolve bases in a solution, they yield hydroxide ions or OH minus ions, and the basicity of bases is basically because of these hydroxide ions. So we will go through the general properties of bases, which are they are bitter in taste. They turn red litmus to blue. That means if you bring a red litmus paper in contact of a basic solution, it will readily change into blue. So there are another category of bases which are known as alkalis. So alkalis are nothing but water soluble bases. That means there are some bases which are insoluble in water. There are some bases which are readily soluble in water. So those bases which are water soluble are known as alkalis. And there is a statement which is often discussed that all the bases are alkalis, but all the alkalis are bases, but all the bases are not alkalis. That means those bases which are water soluble only they may be termed as alkalis. So you can say that all the bases, since they are not water soluble, all the bases cannot be termed as alkalis, but all the alkalis are water soluble bases. So that's how your statement is justified, that all the alkalis are bases, but all the bases are not alkalis. So much like acids, there is also two categories in the case of bases also, which is strong bases and weak bases. So what are strong bases? The strong bases are those bases which are, when dissolved in a solution, they completely dissociate into their ions. So what is dissociation? I have already explained it in our online classes, that dissociation is actually breaking apart of the ions of the bases. Like bases and acids, both are ionic compounds. So when they are dissolved in a solution, they tend to break into their ions. So that is known as the dissociation of ions. So if bases completely dissociate into their ions in their solution form, they are termed as strong bases. And strong bases are basically NaOH, KOH, Na2O, etc. What are weak bases? So weak bases are basically those bases which undergo only partial dissociation of their ions when dissolved in water or in their solution form. So those bases which when dissolved in water or which when are kept in solution form, they only show partial dissociation. That means not the complete basis formula crystals, or not the complete crystals undergoes dissociation into their ions, only a fraction of it undergoes dissociation. So there is basically less number of hydroxide ions in the solution. So these bases are known as weak bases, which undergo partial dissociation of their ions. So the examples of weak bases are NH4OH, which is ammonium hydroxide, and MgOH twice, which is magnesium hydroxide, etc. So these are strong bases and weak bases. Next we will study about the chemical properties of bases. What are the chemical properties of bases? So unlike the acids, bases do not generally react with metals. There are only a few bases and a few metals which react together, and one example we can take of is zinc. Zinc can react with NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. When zinc granules are heated, when zinc granules are kept in NaOH solution and the reaction mixture is heated, then zinc reacts with sodium hydroxide and forms sodium zincate, which is Na2ZnO2 plus hydrogen gas is released. So this compound here is known as sodium zincate. So because zinc is a very reactive metal, it reacts with sodium hydroxide and forms sodium zincate and hydrogen gas. So there is only this example which you have to study about the bases, which is the reaction of metals with bases. And you have to remember this, that when zinc granules are reacted with sodium hydroxide solution and heated, they form sodium zincate. Next chemical property which we are going to study is the reaction of sodium hydroxide with acid. Not reaction of sodium hydroxide, reaction of bases with acids. So you have already learned this reaction in the chemical properties of acid, but we will went through it again. So this is neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction is the reaction of acids with bases. So neutralization reactions are basically those reactions in which acids react with bases to form two neutral products, salt and water. Like NaOH, when reacts with an acid, it forms salt, NaCl plus water. In a similar way, if any other acid reacts with any other base, for example, if H2SO4 reacts with NH4OH, which is a base, it will form NH4 twice SO4 plus 2H2O. So basically you can see here you have to study about only two types of reaction in the chemical properties of bases. First is reaction of bases with metals, and in this category there are very rarely any metals which react with any base. One such metal is zinc, which reacts with NaOH and forms sodium zincate. And the other reaction which you have to study under the category chemical properties of bases is neutralization reaction, which you have already studied in chemical properties of acids also. So neutralization reaction is that reaction in which an acid reacts with a base to form a salt and water. So here are two examples, and I would suggest you go through some more examples given in your book. Okay, so our next topic will be indicators. What are indicators? And after that we will discuss about the pH level of the acids or bases or generally any other substance. So indicators are dye substances which change their color in presence of acids and bases. So basically you can say that indicators are those type of substances which change their color, like they have a particular color, and when they are kept in contact with acid or with base, they change a particular color, change to a particular color, and thus indicating that whether the solution we have taken is acid or a base. So indicators may be of two types. There may be natural indicators also and artificial indicators also. So natural indicators are those indicators which are um, obtained naturally. They may be obtained from nature, like from any plant, just like litmus. Litmus is a natural indicator which is extracted from lichens. In a similar way, turmeric may be also termed as a natural indicator. So there may be natural indicators and artificial indicators. Artificial indicators are those indicators which are synthesized artificially, that means they are man-made. So natural indicators are generally extracted from plants. And in the category of natural indicators, you can keep litmus, litmus which is extracted from plants, turmeric, red cabbage extract, red cabbage extract, etc. In the category of artificial indicator, you can keep phenolphthalein, methyl orange, etc. So how do these indicators tell us that whether a given solution is an acid or a base? So basically indicators have a definite color, a particular color, and when they are kept in the contact with acid or base, they change their color to another, indicating whether the solution is an acid or a base. For example, if we take example of litmus, we will just make a table showing the color change of different indicators in the presence of acids and in the presence of bases. So here is your indicator, here is your indicator, its color, and color in presence of acid and color in presence of bases. So first we will talk about litmus solution. Litmus solution is purple in color, but when litmus solution is put into an acidic solution, or you can say when acidic solution is put into litmus solution, the color of litmus solution changes to red. And if a basic solution is put into litmus solution, then the color of litmus solution changes to blue. Next is phenolphthalein. Phenolphthaleine's color basically is colorless. It is a colorless indicator. In the presence of acid also, it remains colorless. But in the presence of base, it changes into pink color. Methyl orange. It is orange in color, but when it is brought in contact with acid, it forms a red color, and in presence of base, it forms yellow color. Turmeric, it is yellow in color, doesn't show any change in presence of acid, but in presence of base it changes into red color. So these are some indicators which change their color in the presence of acid or in the presence of bases. In the next video we will talk about some more types of indicators. Till then, keep studying well.